the time with my kids' moms.
They're pregnant, bro. You just got to do
Cheesecake.
it.
Oh my god. Yep.
Okay, so now that we're here and ready, my first thing I'm doing on this 5th week is one, I'm kind of just letting everybody know I'm still doing these every week with all of our employees. This was just kind of a
Okay.
6-week challenge based off of what I think the group needed most. And I think we'll probably
Yeah.
do it like every year. We do that 6-week challenge, like starting at the end of December, because
Okay.
it helps during the slowest time of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I really want to dive into is I want you to think of 2 things for me that you can answer in our next session, our final 6-week session, which is, what is something you'll promise to yourself and social media you'll do 50 times? And what's something you'll promise to yourself and social media you'll do 25 times? And the reason I say that is what a lot of us are lacking is perspective in life. So there's only
Okay.
52 weeks in a year. So if
Right.
you can promise yourself to do something 50 times, that's a year's worth of things.
Okay.
And we're going to promise ourselves to do something once a week 50 times.
Okay.
And then that'll be the macro goal. And then we'll do a micro goal where you do it 25 times, which is a 6-month goal.
Okay.
Because for me personally, the biggest thing I learned from this experience with you guys is I told all of you I was going to do a 6-week challenge. I started it and I'm completing it.
Right.
And the amount of things I've learned from helping you guys, just from promising that I was going to do the 6-week challenge and then like being like, I have to do this every week. It just helps the company. It helps everybody, right? Like, so if I can help you figure out what you want to do 25 times and 50 times, and I can help hold you accountable throughout all these challenges we do throughout the year, your level of success is just going to go up. Because
Right.
if you shoot for 50 times and you do 48, you did more than you did last year.
Right.
If you shoot for 50 times and you do 50, you did more than most people all year, ever.
Yeah.
And the level of accomplishment when you set a goal that's that big, like, there's nothing that matches it.
Right. Yeah. And that's a pretty realistic, like, I mean, I don't really have the details of what yet, but when you break it down like that, it makes it seem that much more like easier to accomplish. It makes it seem like less daunting, like realistic, and like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, because I'm not telling you do something 365 times.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's start with 50.
Yeah.
Because I don't even, like, I'm still figuring out how to do certain things 365 times, right?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest takeaway, and like from this experience for myself, and that's why I thought of this question to lead into week 6, because I'm just proud of everybody right now. Like, we're
Yeah.
doing it. And like, did you notice you guys are making content that I'm able to share on the barbershop page, which actually benefits everybody?
Right. Yeah. Puts their faces out there. The shop gets a lot of like attention from everybody. Like, it shows that we're all involved. And I guess it also brings that community aspect to it. So yeah, it's been fun too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I haven't posted anything this week, but I had posted 2 videos last week, and I really like I enjoy doing these videos now because like I said, dude, I wouldn't have really even thought about doing any of this, to be honest, if we never talked about it. I mean, like the thought was always there, like it would be a good idea. Social media is big, obviously, all that shit. But, like now that we're actually doing it's nice, dude, especially when everyone's doing it because it seems it just like when other people are doing it that we're working with, it makes you want to like you don't want to get left behind kind of shit. You want to also be part of it.
Yes. And
So,
like it's also cool because like your post that I reshared on our story,
uh,
um uh, so I reshared your post on our story, right? And
yeah,
like it's a type of thing that makes it so like people are able to engage with you and with our page and the whole thing. And I'm trying to give you some numbers real quick.
okay.
There it is. You had like 6 people respond to that on our page and be like, I do want to
Yeah,
be more healthy.
yeah, right.
Right? Like because it's eye-opening. Like, oh, my barber thinks the same way I do? That's crazy.
Yeah, right. It makes us more like human, and that way we're able to connect. Like it's easier to connect with people once they're in our chair, but I feel like this also enables us to connect with them when they're outside of our chair, and just makes us seem much more approachable too, because I
Yes.
think a lot of men like are intimidated by like barbershops and shit like that, like. And I always get clients talking about like their last experiences, and sometimes it's not good. They say it was like awkward or it was weird or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not trying to have that kind of a time. Like I want to just vibe out and like really get to know this person because I know that that's what I used to like when I would get my haircut. Just like open up about my life and get them to talk about their life too, and they can't do that unless they're comfortable with someone.
Oh
So
yeah. And the laughing and the fucking like asking your barber for advice or like just feeling like you're with a friend,
yeah, exactly.
right? Like and I think that's something that the the team as it like the whole brand is starting to understand a little bit more is like we're servicing people. We're not cutting hair. Like
Right.
they're two different things.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like now, do I want you to be able to do a magazine haircut? Sure. Right? But I would much rather you be able to make someone smile.
Yeah, 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 right. It's the whole experience. Yeah.
What's the point of if I got a magazine haircut, but I hated my experience and felt like I paid too much?
Yeah.
I don't want it.
What's the
Like,
point in that?
you
Right.
ever go to Starbucks and like tip and then your coffee sucks and you're like, fuck.
Well, Starbucks is a horrible example because I feel like I shouldn't tip, but I do anyways.
So, because you shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like that's what's like, especially if I'm going through the drive through,
Yeah, yeah.
like, if you brought me my coffee from behind the counter, you deserve a tip.
Right.
If I had to walk up to you, order my coffee, and come pick up my coffee again, fuck you. And that's how I feel about haircuts too, bro. Like, think about it. Right? Like, as a barber, if you can't navigate your client to being happy, getting what they want, educating them on what they need, and providing a service, what's the you're a hair cutter.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I had this guy yesterday. He's lived here for 4 years. He's from California, and he the only barbering experience he's had here in Utah was Great Clips, and he ended up tipping me $40. Because he like, for one, I got him the haircut he wanted, but also I think he just enjoyed his time there and like got a service that he felt was worth the money, because he felt like he didn't get his money's worth at Great Clips. They rushed it, as fast. I mean, no shade on them or whatever. They're doing their thing the way they do it. But, it was just like nice to kind of like have our service be highlighted as, like, yeah, be appreciated.
Yeah, like he actually felt the difference.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I try and explain to people is like, so you like, there's a time and place when you end up being able to do 30-minute haircuts and still provide a good service, right?
Right.
But in 5 years, when that happens, right? Let's not forget the 20 minutes worth of service that has nothing to do with cutting hair.
Yeah.
So, like, if you noticed when I'm in the shop cutting hair, I spend less time cutting hair than I do like just talking to my client.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there
I
just
always see you
becomes a
vibing out.
point where you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like autopilot, kind of.
So like you can just not cut because you could get the haircut done in 15 minutes and like communicate with the people and make them have fun and like be laughing and rolling on the ground and then finish the haircut real quick. Right? Like
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's what I'm really happy to see is like that type of vibe, especially like I can tell from your chair people get that every time.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's not because of you, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah. 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 Of course.
you're
I mean,
constant.
there's always those people that, don't want to talk or don't want to like, engage much, and they're just there for the service. And that is also something that you got to execute in the right way too. Like, okay, you got to like be able to read your client pretty well, because sometimes that happens and it's like, all right, that's totally fine. You want to be left alone, and I will just focus on making sure that you get what you need, and not like push on you too much.
Absolutely.
And same
It's
result.
weird. It's almost instinct.
Yeah.
Like I have a weird spidey sense,
Right.
bro. I don't know why, and I don't know how to teach it. Like I don't know how to teach it. So like I can be walking around and I'll just feel the person like in someone's chair that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, and then I'll walk over and I'll be like, "What's wrong?" And they're like, "This, and this," and I'm like, "Well, is it? Do you want this?" Yeah. Okay, let's do that. And then like the barber will come over to me and be like, "Bro, that dude just tipped me $40." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
because like I don't know why you couldn't feel that, but that dude like needed something."
Yeah. Got it.
And it's like
Right.
and I feel like you kind of have that intuition. Like you can't teach it. It's an instinct thing where you're like spidey sense, something's wrong,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah. For sure.
or this person needs this, or like and I think what helped me develop it is me and Marcus would cut this group of deaf kids,
Uh-huh.
and so like we had to figure out how to communicate and have fun during a haircut without words.
Right. Wow. That's cool. Yeah.
Right? And like I know like 5 things of sign language. Like I don't know sign language like that, but I do. Right? Like I can understand it.
Yeah.
And so
You know how to like, yeah. Yeah. Right. Like different mannerisms and shit. You know how to read people.
yeah, so like I think that taught me like how to like you could speak Spanish and like I can figure out what you need, and I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
I could get pretty close,
Yeah, I feel that.
right? Like, and then I think like that's a hard skill to develop. Is like, you know how there's the barber's eye?
Yeah, right.
I think that includes the intuition. Like the barber's eye, like is the third eye, where like you know what a haircut's supposed to look like, and you know what people want.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that gets developed from purely over executing. So
Got it.
never being lazy on a service, meaning like if a dude comes in that's bald and he wants his head shaved, you do it for the regular haircut and you do hot towel, lather, straight razor, and you give him a full service.
Yeah,
And
you
then
make
that
it
dude,
worth the money.
yeah, and then that dude tips you $20. And then someone comes in for just a beard and you hit him with a facial steamer, you give him a free black mask, and you like just over executing. Eventually, like you start understanding, like, okay, this dude came in and asked me for a haircut, but his head shape doesn't match exactly what he said. So I'm going to give him the haircut he wants, but it's not what he said.
Right.
But you know for a fact it's what he wants.
Right.
And
Do
you're
what
never
looks good
wrong.
on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow you're never wrong.
Right.
And I think I wish I could teach that. I don't know how to teach that to people.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that just comes with the experience, maybe.
Yeah, like reps.
Yeah.
And like and mind state. Certain people don't care enough to do it. Like some people, like that's the other thing that's been weird for me is like I'm able to tell like the different types of barbers now.
Right.
So you're a barber who cares about people.
Yes.
Then
Yeah,
there's
big time.
barbers who care about the haircut. Then there's barbers
Right.
who just care about if they get their money.
Right.
Then there's barbers who don't know what they care about.
Right.
And it's like, if I can make everybody the barber that cares about the people, the money will come. Because you're never
Yes.
lazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to teach the instinct part. Because that's like,
Hmm.
bro, I remember being in Joseph's barbershop, right? Charging $17 a haircut and like the pickiest clients. Like the pickiest clients want and like and a walk-in line that was like 4 hours long,
Jesus. Oof.
right? And it's like I can see Bountiful becoming that in the next 6 months. Not picky
Yeah.
clients, but the walk-in line and making sure everybody's getting service properly and like cuz you're feeling it, right? Like did you notice January and December weren't that different
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
on
Yeah. You
haircuts?
were explaining this last time. Yeah.
Call 5 of your friends that work at other barbershops.
Yeah. No, and I hear that it's like it's been slow, kind of like everywhere, if that's what you're saying. Yeah.
And like but it's not like that's those barbers not being taught what to do.
Right.
So it's not completely the barber's fault, but it is because the barbers are their own entity. But it's also like the shop doesn't know, like the shop doesn't know to be like, hey Fabian, let's try this. What? Well, we've been here, building you off some walk-in flow for the past 4 months. Let's start posting now. Why? Because then
Yeah.
I can share that on our Instagram page, and any one of those clients you've cut that's on our Instagram page is going to book for you. And then you're going to start
Right.
building your own clout on social media, and your own people are going to come in, and then you're going to grow and grow. And it's like, I think that I'm so impressed, bro. I never could have imagined that it would work that well.
Yeah. Wow. I know. Really though.
Like I knew in my head it would work, but like I couldn't have imagined that like we broke our haircut record in January. in a day.
Yeah, damn. Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Holy shit.
And like,
And
and we didn't during Christmas. We didn't break that record during Christmas.
yeah, right. It's because everybody's involved, dude. Everybody's in it to win it, you know? Everyone's on board with the same mindset, and like that shit's contagious as fuck. Like, and when, especially when other people, like clients, see that energy, they see a shop with workers that are like friends and get along really well and have a drive. And I think that is important to a client, like, because when you go to a shop and it's like you see the barbers that aren't really like communicating with each other or talking to each other much, it's like, do you guys hate each other, or like what's the drama? And it kind of like makes it an uncomfortable situation. But nah, we're all on the same page, dude. We all want to see each other win. At least that's how I feel. Like, I want to see everybody be successful, like, and we're all putting in that work, dude. It's working out really well.
Yeah, and like I'm proud of you. Like seriously, I appreciate you and everybody. Like, cause what it's taught me is I should have been doing what we're doing here for the past 5 years.
Yeah, right.
Cause I'm doing I'm doing you guys a disservice when I come into the barbershop and everybody's trying to talk to me at once. I'm getting pulled in so many different directions that like
Right.
I'm sure it's happened to you where you'll ask me a question and I'll hear it and I'll half answer it and then I'll just go somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you can't give everybody your full attention, and this is like the best way to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this really worked out way well, because then we're also getting personal feedback from you. It's not just like feeling rushed, like on the spot, like, let's ask you these quick questions at the shop, but then you know you're a busy dude, you got shit to do, like. But this feels nice because it's dedicated time, one-on-one. We get feedback on how we're doing, which also helps us because it's very positive, like affirmations, and makes us feel good. And that also just helps us want to be even better and just keep doing it. So, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's been really nice.
Yeah, and like I, yeah, I couldn't have imagined it, bro. you know? I'm like still confused by it. I'm like,
Are
"Huh.
are the other shops doing this too?
Yeah, but you're so the studio's doing it. Marcus invited all of his barbers to do it, but I'm pretty sure they just didn't.
Okay.
I haven't done anybody at the do, but the studio's done it. They're doing pretty well, and like I, it's weird because we started with like 17 people,
Yeah.
and 10 have made it to week 5.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Damn.
Meaning they haven't skipped a week.
Right.
Um,
Damn.
but it works out good because like it also shows like who really wants it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Um, and it'll show in the next year the people that do it. It'll make the people who like fell off want to do it.
Right. They'll get on board eventually.
Yeah, because they'll be like, why is this happening for this person so much?
Right.
And like honestly, to get 10 people to do that is impressive, and it's hard because it's like today's your walk-in day, right?
Yes.
So you're sacrificing if a walk-in comes in right now to do this. But
Right.
that being said, it's because one walk-in a week for yourself to like double what you're doing is worth it.
Right. It is worth it. Yeah, I think so.
Um,
I mean, usually we don't do it on my walk-in days, but it's totally fine. Like
Yeah.
today, it was this type of situation. We just had to do it, but you know,
Yeah, we
it's
had to do what we
not
had
like
to
this is
do.
the norm. Yeah, exactly. So it's all good.
And yeah, so I think I think you're killing it. Just I would look into your analytics and ask yourself on some accountability, like, do I feel like I posted enough? Um,
Okay.
and kind of critique it and be like, okay, I could have posted 2 more times or whatever. Make sure
Yeah.
whatever you're posting, you're sharing on your story, and make sure you're sharing stories.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, I got to do better at that. Yeah.
because
Sharing other
stories are like
people's
the most
posts.
used thing on Instagram right now.
Yeah, I need to do that. Post my posts on stories and also share other people's stories on my stories. Yeah. Okay.
And
I
then
can definitely do
other than that, just try and come into the next week's meeting with those 2 questions answered. What can
that.
I do
Okay.
25 times and what can I do 50 times over the
50
next year?
times. Okay. Sounds good.
Because no matter what our challenges are over this year during these meetings, I want to focus on like some goals for you too, you know?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool, bro.
Okay. I appreciate you, Fabian.
Yeah. Hey, are we on live right now?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you off live real quick, if that's cool.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Okay.